Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
People in a northern Minnesota neighborhood are on high alert after they say they heard multiple gunshots over the weekend. We have had several viewers alert us to the situation, and now people in Warroad, Minnesota are worried there may be a drive-by shooter in their town. This video was sent to us by Michelle Bruce. The footage is taken from the security camera at her home on Lake Street Northwest. She says around 2:50 Saturday morning, a vehicle drove by her house and shot at her home. She says she was awake and heard the shot. Bruce claims the shooter shot at the driver's side of her daughter's car, which was parked in front of the house. The car then headed east and about 35 seconds later shot through the front window of her neighbor's home, which she says you can also hear in the video. Bruce says her neighbor was bending over to turn on her TV and a bullet went right over the top of her head and into a wall inside the house. She says the community needs to be on high alert and aware and asks if anyone has information on this incident to contact the Warroad Police Department at this number, 218-386-2053. Bruce says she has given a copy of her video to police, and we have reached out to the Warroad Police Department for information regarding this incident, but have not heard back yet. A fun day on the Mississippi River near the Twin Cities turned dangerous for a boating party this holiday weekend. A 40-feet, two-story yacht went up in flames Sunday afternoon after fire officials say the owners had just filled it with gas. The Inver Grove Heights fire chief said when someone went to start the boat, there was a boom and a small fire started. The 5 people on board got off the dock before the boat was engulfed in flames. The boat drifted and got caught under a pedestrian swing bridge, which also caught fire underneath. Eventually, it kept going downstream. Firefighters put out the fire on the bridge and the fire in the boat before it eventually sank. No one was hurt. When you hear Memorial Day, what do you think? Time to buy a new mattress, an extra day off from work, perhaps? Unfortunately, the reason for the holiday, to remember those who died serving our country, has been forgotten by many people. Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker talks to a man who says this wasn't always the case and doesn't have to be today if we have time to talk about it.
We're not real happy about how it has become commercialized.
That's how many of the vets at AmVets Post 7 feel when they see businesses cash in on Memorial Day.
Memorial Day is about remembering those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice.
When I was growing up, as a child, it was an observance day or what else. I mean, it really was. And I think that really changed about the Vietnam era.
Rick Olick, a Vietnam veteran and Purple Heart recipient, believes the anti-Vietnam attitudes allowed businesses to turn this day of remembrance into a moneymaker.
They decided to, basically seize upon that opportunity of people being out and about, and people and during that era didn't care.
But that isn't the only reason Olick thinks some people don't set aside this day to remember those who've died serving our country.
And we had the draft. Basically, when you're 18, you signed up and you went in. And now it's an all volunteer service or what else. So therefore, not as many people are affected.
Olick says talking about Memorial Day and the importance of recognizing the ultimate sacrifice so many have made is the only way future generations will truly understand this holiday. Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
Despite many people not knowing what Memorial Day means, Olick says things could be worse. Vietnam veterans are able and are encouraged to talk openly about their service, something they couldn't do when they first got back from war. A number of people needed medical treatment after being exposed to high levels of carbon monoxide at a Fargo hotel this morning. Around 10:45, emergency crews responded to the La Quinta Inn and Suites at 2355 46th Street South. The Fargo Fire Department says when crews arrived, the carbon monoxide detector had activated in the pool area. Officials evacuated that area and believe there was a leak in the heating system in the pool area. So the gas was turned off to prevent any more carbon monoxide from getting in. They're still investigating the cause, though. One person was taken by ambulance to the hospital. Police are analyzing phone records from the Walmart in Detroit Lakes, trying to figure out who made a bomb threat at the store, forcing a lockdown. Some scary moments for shoppers there when the store received a call just after 1 this afternoon, leading them to believe there was a bomb somewhere inside. Police evacuated the building, and they and firefighters searched the store but found nothing. Just before 3, Walmart reopened and resumed business as usual. Officials also say they're looking at a felony charge for the person or people responsible for what they call a terroristic threat. A Moorhead man has been arrested after police say he hit 2 teenage boys with a shovel and a brick early this morning. It happened just after 1:30 a.m. in the 1800 block of Bellesley Boulevard. Police arrived and found an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old with significant facial injuries. One boy was taken to the hospital, the other refused medical treatment. A broken shovel and brick were collected as evidence, and police ended up stopping a vehicle near Romkey Park on 20th Street that had sped away from the scene. Police arrested 43-year-old Jerome Walker on 2 counts of felony assault and say the victims knew Walker. Neighbors say they heard screaming and yelling and that it's becoming a troublesome trend in the area.
These situations that happen, it happens often. We've had people knocking on our doors too at midnight, and we don't know who they are. We don't have family that comes in at houses at midnight.
Some people say they're planning to move because they're tired of the crime. Technology is rapidly changing how we live, work, and learn. The increased use of robots and artificial intelligence are revolutionizing the workplace. But could these advancements send workers to the unemployment line? Our Samantha Jo Roth takes a closer look.
It's a robot revolution. Prototypes that deliver food, drones that deliver packages, and driverless cars that deliver you. All of it is happening right now.
The whole pattern is that information technology is not simply about making things more efficient, it's about creating new products and services that customers are willing to pay for.
Michael Mandel of the Technology CEO Council is the author of a new report that found robots and artificial intelligence could lead to an economic boom. He predicts it'll happen in the Midwest.
This will be the era of physical industries, our manufacturing, our transportation, our healthcare, our agriculture, our mining, generating the jobs for the economy and generating the growth.
There are elements of artificial intelligence and robots that are clearly taking over tasks that humans used to perform.
Lee Rainey with the Pew Research Center says the rise of robots and other forms of innovation have been disruptive in the workplace.
As robots move onto the factory floor and do more functions that are particularly more sophisticated, you don't need as many workers to do those things. And what happens to those workers?
But that doesn't mean workers should file for unemployment just yet.
There really are no jobs being taken away by artificial intelligence right now. It only has very small specific applications.
Spencer Smith with the Chevy Chase Trust predicts robots and automation could eventually displace jobs, but it'll be a gradual transition.
The idea of a human-like artificial intelligence is probably decades away, so I don't really think we need to worry about it right now.
All 3 experts agree that lawmakers here in Washington could help companies by creating policies that influence innovation and job creation. In Washington, Samantha Jo Roth reporting.
If you want to read more articles from Michael Mandel, we've got a link on our website. Just go over to valleynewslive.com and click on the hot button.